scrapyard. Welcome to the scrapyard. To the scrapyard. Welcome to the.
What up, what up, what up? You better scrap, rolling and shit. Right here, about to roll into another Scrapyard fucking podcast, live podcast that is. All right, we just turned the tables right now. Fell off a second ago, not to tell you, but just to tell you that fucking the timer stopped on us, but we were just so caught up in the conversation that we just lost track of time and shit, you feel me? Anyways, what we were on and shit, how he brought up and what I brought up, and somehow we found ourselves there, was that when we were younger, first of all, this is what took us there. Let me ask you again. I hope we could recreate it a little. It's going to be easier so that we could be as genuine as possible. But everybody could blame somebody and shit. But the way we grew up, and everybody grew up in their own way. They could blame their mom, their dad, their tias, their tios, and whatnot. And we had that type of family, which is the sad thing to say. And shit, once again, the only thing I learned from my mom is what not to do. By actions and things that I saw that were so fucked up that I never wanted that shit to ever happen to my kids and things like that. Of course, we just want our kids to live better than the way we did, right? Going on that and shit, is there anything... How did... The way we grew up, bro, did it seem strange or the way we grew up, or how did it feel to you? Was it normal?
It was normal at the time. I mean,
it seemed normal, right?
It was always normal just because we didn't know any different. Like, I always thought that people arguing and people fighting and people literally throwing fucking blows and people pulling down knives, it was normal. It was normal.
Normal.
You know, the one thing that I think, the only thing that I really didn't see at that age was somebody shooting somebody.
Yeah.
And that was my own experience. I don't know your experience, even though, you know, we went back and forth living in different houses and stuff. That was my experience, was people fighting, arguing, and I always used to wonder, like we were trying to go to sleep and everybody's up, tables, and there's freaking lines here and there on the tables and not knowing what that was at the time, and people fighting at 2, 3 in the morning, and just fighting, arguing. Well, fuck you. And people's friends are fighting with other people's friends because people don't know. It'd be like me bringing somebody that you don't know, and you bringing somebody that I don't know, and they don't get along.
Yeah.
And then that shit just happening, and just
what else
blows up.
Yeah.
And it just got fucking ugly. It just got really, really, really ugly at times. But it was normal. That's the thing. Like, how can you talk about it to anybody when that's all you know? It's not like, oh shit, guess what happened? No, it's like, oh shit, this happened again.
Yeah.
You know, it's
well, yeah, it seemed normal.
Very
it seemed like normal. I honestly, Priam, I thought kind of like, oh, I did, but I didn't. I thought mine was a little crazier, so you didn't talk about it, right? As far as the way some of the shit we saw and grew up and stuff, but at the same time, I thought it was normal. Well, all the friction and fighting and all that, I thought it was normal too.
Yeah, but growing up, you were more, because your dad was in El Paso. Yeah. And your mom was here. Yeah. And basically you had Gabriel, like our family here. Yeah. And I had both sides, so it's kind of easier for me to kind of forget about the things that happened on this side and just go with what's happening on my dad's side, right? And not have to think about what happened on this. Doesn't mean that it didn't happen. Doesn't mean that I don't remember them, because no, 1,000% I still remember things. But it's easy. It was easier as a kid to not think about it because I had an escape. Yeah, an escape route. And that's what I chose to do.
That's how we differ right there. Little.
Yeah, and because you had nowhere to go.
Yeah, I just had that bad 100%
anger and stuff like that.
That's all I could see all the time. Yeah. Because that's all. My dad was in a different state and whatnot.
And I didn't know any different. If I would have known, I'd be like, hey, Dad, bring Vanny or bring Gabriel or bring Selena. Somebody from this side. But you don't know the difference. You're just trying to just be happy as a kid. Because if I would have known that was causing discomfort or sadness or depression, I'd have been like, hey, Dad, let's bring him on our side.
And you gotta understand, we were young, so at that time I wasn't trying to run away either, because like I said,
because it was normal.
Yes, it was normal. That's the sad thing about it. Yeah. But going on that, because a lot of the ugliness came out of like my house and my block right here from bowling and shit. I'm always raising up bowling, still up in bowling, left, came back. But I'm very proud still to this day of BP Ball and Park, in so many ways, in the ways I grew up and whatnot, because there's a lot of feedback here, Said I gotta throw the what's ups to the what's ups, because they the what's up. You feel me? But going on what we were talking about, really changing the chapter and changing the book right here and changing the subject on what we were talking about is because of shit that happened at my house and my mom's friend with / and it ended with she, remember? Clowning you.
And it ended with G.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Angie? Yeah. So anyway, she was, much like, and we started getting into, which we're gonna get into again. I think even better on from we were talking about on a male aspect, because now we're older. I wish I could have twinkled that. You know what I mean? Now, at the time, bottom line is it's wrong, because when you're innocent, they're still taking your innocence, whether you're a vato or a girl, and with a girl, you touch a girl, especially I got twin daughters, I'll kill your motherfucking ass, and I guess it goes across the board. You have a son, so, bottom line, it's not the fact that what they took, it's the innocence that they took, so it's wrong. But now that we're older, we were clowning on it earlier, like, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you something. Have you ever brought that up to your mom?
Nah.
Never told her.
Yeah, but you brought it up, and I co-signed it, because it was like that. She used to always, I don't know if she never, I think I was a little older already, not that much older, but I already was streetwise, by the time I was like 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, and I wasn't.
That's about the time it happened, when she was around a lot, about 10, 11, 12, and you were way younger.
That's the first time where I experienced... And excuse me, anybody that's watching the smell of
Punanskis and shit. The privates, right?
That was the first time, and I'll never forget that. And it was just something different to me. It was the very first time, but
So she must have did something very inappropriate for you to remember that.
I don't remember it's hard because I don't remember specifics, but I remember something. That's the hard part. Like, it's like a dream where you dreamt this, but you don't remember all the details. But you remember all, and it wasn't a dream because I didn't even know her back then, so it happened.
Now it
happened.
And that's what I recently said on something. Okay, you know how I be talking on narcissists a lot, right?
I heard about that.
Okay, so on narcissists, this is the main thing. I always explain a narcissist like this, why people become narcissists. We breed narcissists, okay? I was going to bring it into this, but it's the same thing. Our brains run us, meaning our brains run us, bro, meaning we don't control shit. We don't control nada. Our brains, we might think, we got everything under control and this and that. And boom, if your brain wants to say, no, you ain't got shit under control, and it just says click, turns off and shit something for a second, your fucking bodily functions will be fucked up, whatever. Bottom line on all this is that with the narcissist, it's empathy. Empathy, they do not have empathy. That means they don't feel sorry. They don't feel like if you were feeling weitado, bro, and I love you and shit, I'd be like, what's the matter, bro? I would start feeling weitado too, because I don't like seeing you like that, because I love you, feel me? That's empathy, Well, they see shit like that at such a young age, and God God doesn't build us like that. So this part of empathy is only so big. But when it's getting used this much, when it should only be used this much at a certain age, the brain says, "Oh no, you're overloading the fucking brain and shit." So it turns it off. Okay, so I guess my point on that is
it's not empathy that you're looking at. It's sympathy, because with sympathy,
same thing.
It's a huge difference. Okay. Sympathy is I feel bad for you. You know. Empathy is I feel bad for you because I've gone through it myself, and there's a huge difference. A lot of people haven't gone through things that you've gone through. It's easier for people to feel sympathy than to have empathy. It's a huge difference. So
really,
dude, I promise you that.
I believe you. I'm gonna maybe because I've been. And that's how all the psychiatrists and all that say they don't have no empathy. And I'm thinking empathy and sympathy are pretty much the same thing.
It's like Benny.
It's a fine line right now that you just cut.
It's a huge difference. Like, Benny, you know what? You feel bad for me. You have sympathy for me. Okay, cool. I appreciate that. But then it's another thing to say, Benny, you feel bad for me and you understand how I feel. That's empathy. That's a huge difference.
I gotta double check on
No, dude.
Not to call you wrong, but this is the way I am.
Primo, I mean, look it up right now. You're not gonna find. You're gonna say, "Oh, damn, I didn't know that." Yeah. Because I'm telling you the truth.
No, I believe you. I'm one of those I gotta find out for myself.
And then once you find out for yourself, you're gonna be like, "Fuck!" Now I understand the difference.
Hey, bro, if you brought me up on game, I love it. I love it.
No, it's a huge difference because there's been times where I feel like, man,
I feel sorry for this person, and it's easy to feel sorry for somebody because of what they've gone through, but if you don't know the same feeling, then you don't have empathy, because that's the part that comes to say, I've been through it myself. I know what you're going through. I have empathy for you. So people that say, "Oh, Benny, I'm sorry for what you're going through."
It's easy to fucking.
You know what? I think you're vice versa.
No.
Sympathy is your.
Benny, I'm sorry. That's sympathy. I'm sorry for the way you feel. That's it. That's sympathy.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what, Benny? I've been through it. I'll get you through it. We'll be cool. That's empathy. I feel sorry for what you're going through because I know what you're experiencing. That's empathy.
All right, that's good. That's.
Look it up.
No, I believe you. I believe you. I believe you.
I promise you.
I believe you. So what we're going into that, since we went off, and that's part of Scrapyard and shit, I mean, there's a bunch of aisles with a bunch of junk and shit like that just needs to be talked about, right? So, but let's get back onto what we were talking about as far as a woman back in our day, remember, who was a little sexually, maybe that's the way she was, or it was... It was just maybe us or whatnot, or her, but I think it was a little her because it was a little inappropriate, which I don't remember being touched or whatever, but for you to remember smelling something like that, you know what I mean? Maybe something went down that's how because our brains going back on brains and
it remembers things, dude.
Or it shuts you out of things of remembering. Remember, it blocks you out of shit. That's why a lot of people, you know what I mean, who have like even like they black out. Your brain blacks out shit.
Well, let's go.
When something traumatic happens to kids and shit like that, they don't remember, bro. And do you think they choose not to remember?
No.
The brain takes over.
Tell you something, and it's gonna sound kind of weird. I'm going from this level to a whole different level.
Fine.
When I got COVID back in November 2020, I almost died. Like I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything.
Okay.
But when I came back, the one thing that I didn't have was my short-term memory. I could remember what we did 10 years ago, but I couldn't tell you what we talked about a week ago.
You know, when I forgot my short-term memory, I forgot.
You know what I mean? I already knew something like that was coming. No, but for real, dude, like...
I just gotta liven it up a little and shit, only because, you know, the long-term memory is...
So let's go there. Let's go there.
Than I thought.
I don't know your people.
No, there is no my people.
Wow. I don't know the people that...
We're only gonna touch somebody and an individual that little... Look at, I guess the Bacardi hit me already.
So let's talk about
the person
COVID.
who wants to listen to us.
Just a soul whose intentions are good.
understood. Welcome to the scrapyard.